You're never going to be president of the United States
tough,
by insulting your way to the presidency.
Let's see, I'm at 40. And I love the First Amendment. Nobody loves it better than me. Nobody. I mean, who uses it more than I do? Lawrence O'Donnell, his show is failing. It's a disaster. They moved him out of the 8 o'clock slot because Bill O'Reilly was absolutely killing him. They gave him the less coveted 10 o'clock spot, and he's dying at that. Then you have Rosie O'Donnell. It's really interesting. Their names are the same. Maybe they should get married, but Rosie just found a new mate, and I don't think she'd find him attractive, even if that were the way she goes. So Rosie O'Donnell's show is a disaster. It's a complete disaster. Now, that upsets me a little bit because I love Oprah, and I'd like to see everything on Oprah be successful. I want her network to be great. But Rosie's show is a complete and total disaster. Lawrence O'Donnell's show is a complete and total disaster. Moved from a coveted spot. Now, even at 10 o'clock, it's a mess. So I have an idea. Maybe Rosie O'Donnell and Lawrence O'Donnell, and they must be related somewhere along the line, they should get together, form a show, and they'll have the lowest rated show of all time. What a good idea. Well, Rosie O'Donnell's disgusting. I mean, both inside and out. You take a look at her, she's a slob. She talks like a truck driver. She's basically a disaster. Well, she called me a snake oil salesman. And, you know, coming from Rosie, that's pretty low, because when you look at her and when you see the mind is weak. How does she even get on television? I believe Barbara made a terrible mistake putting her on, and I think Barbara's probably paying a big price. If I were running The View, I'd fire Rosie. I mean, I'd look her right in that fat, ugly face of hers. I'd say, Rosie, you're fired. We're all a little chubby, but Rosie's just worse than most of us. But it's not the chubbiness. Rosie is a very unattractive person, both inside and out. I'll probably sue Rosie because she doesn't tell the facts. As an example, I'm worth many billions of dollars. Now, she said I was bankrupt. I never went bankrupt. So probably I'll sue her because it would be fun. I'd like to take some money out of her fat ass pockets.
One of the things people love about you is you speak your mind and you don't use a politician's filter. However, that is not without its downsides, in particular when it comes to women. You've called women you don't like fat pigs, dogs, slobs, and disgusting animals. Your Twitter account...
Only Rosie O'Donnell.
No, it wasn't. Your Twitter account...
Thank you. You're a very naive person.
Pew Research says that there are, for immigrants on the whole,
Come on, try getting it out. Try getting it out.
I'll get it out.
I mean, I don't know if you're going to put this on television, but you don't even know what you're talking about. Try getting it out. Go ahead. While I'm wasting my time talking to you, which is, you know, essentially one-sided, but that's fine. But while I'm wasting time talking to you, I could be doing deals on other things. You're not bringing up anything new. You know, you're acting like you're the great reporter, blah, blah, blah. You're not bringing up... Hey, you know what gives me more pause? That a person in our government, crooked Hillary Clinton, here's what gives me more... Be quiet. I know you want to, you know, save her. You know my opinion to the media. It's very low. What I don't want is when I raise millions of dollars, have people say, like this sleazy guy right over here from ABC. He's a sleaze.
Are you a trustworthy?
Excuse me, very trustworthy. Chameleon? More so than you. Why didn't you read my quote the way I said it?
Sir, I tried to pull it up and I didn't have Wi-Fi.
Well, then you got to get Wi-Fi, okay? Well, don't ask me questions like that. You're not a very good reporter doing that. You have a question that now is a legitimate question? You know, it's very funny when the fake media goes out, you know, which we call the mainstream media, which sometimes I must say is you. But when the
you
fake...
mean me personally, or...?
Your show. I love your show. I call it Deface the Nation. I'm not a fan of Megyn Kelly. I think she's a third-rate reporter. Megyn Kelly is a lightweight. This is a lightweight. This is not a reporter.
Why do you keep attacking Megyn Kelly of Fox?
Because every night on her show, she does negative hits on me. Every single night. And frankly, if she didn't, her ratings would drop down far lower than yours.
Mr. Trump, a year ago, you told me on my radio show, the audio and the transcript are out there on YouTube, that you would release your tax returns. Are you going back on your
No, I'm not.
commitment?
First of all, very few people listen to your radio show. That's the good news. Let me just tell you. Which happens to be true. Check out the ratings.
All I'm saying is that you are the front runner. You say that you're going to be president of the United States. There is a manner of behavior that goes with that. I'm not saying be Mr. PC. I'm not saying be Captain Gentility and let everybody beat you up. But the idea of returning a blow every time you receive one, you know that doesn't work in any high-level situation.
Well, I'm a believer. Perhaps you're not. Maybe that's why your show isn't doing as well as it should be.
Oh,
you
see,
have
that's
a
not
better
nice.
show than that. But
That's not nice. That's not nice. You're attacking me for asking you a question.
No, you can play cute. Who are you, by the way? Jim Acosta, CNN. Okay. CNN.
I may follow up on some of the questions that have taken place so far here, sir.
Well, not too many. We do have other people. You do have other people, and your ratings aren't as good as some of the other people that are waiting. You just take a look at that show. That is a constant hit. The panel is almost always exclusive anti-Trump. The good news is he doesn't have good ratings. When I go to rallies, they turn around, they start screaming at CNN. They want to throw their placards at CNN. You know, I won with news conference and probably speeches. I certainly didn't win by people listening to you people. That's for sure. You know, you're dishonest people. Like scrutiny, but you know what? When I raise money, excuse me, I've watched you on television. You're a real beauty. When I raise money for the veterans, and it's a massive amount of money.
To follow up on that, you keep calling us the dishonest press, the disgusting press.
Generally speaking, that's 100% true. Go ahead.
I disagree with that, sir. And if I can ask you this question, it seems as though you're resistant to scrutiny, the kind of scrutiny that comes with running for president of the United States.
I like scrutiny, but you know what? When I raise money, excuse me, I've watched you on television. You're a real beauty. When I raise money for the veterans, and it's a massive amount of money, the press should be ashamed of themselves.
Just because of the attack of fake news and attacking our network, I just want to ask you, sir.
I'm changing it from fake news, though.
Doesn't that undermine...
Very fake news.
I know, but aren't you...
Go ahead.
Real news, Mr. President, real news.
And you're not related to our new...
I am not related, sir, no. I do like the sound of Secretary Acosta, I must say.
You know, I looked at that name. I said, wait a minute. Is there any relation there? Alex Acosta.
I'm sure you checked that out, sir.
No, I checked it. They said, no, sir. I said, do me a favor. Go back and check the family tree.
You got to let me speak, though, Frank, because you interrupt all the time, okay? So, you keep saying that Hispanics love you.
True.
And yes, you won the Hispanic vote in Nevada.
True.
But a brand new Telemundo poll says that 3 out of 4 Hispanics that vote nationwide have a negative opinion of you. They don't like you. Wouldn't that make you an unelectable candidate in a general election?
First of all, I don't believe anything Telemundo says.
You used to say that you love.
Number one. Number two.
Lenders to your company lost over $1 billion and more than 1,100 people were laid off.
Well,
is that the way that you run the country?
Let me tell you about the lenders. First of all, these lenders aren't babies. These are total killers. These are not the nice, sweet little people that you think, okay? You know, I mean, you're living in a world of the make-believe, Chris. You want to know the truth.
Last week, the New York Times editorial board quoted you as saying that you would impose up to a 45% tariff on Chinese goods.
That's wrong. They were wrong. It's the New York Times. They're always wrong.
Well,
as far as BuzzFeed, which is a failing pile of garbage.
Since you're attacking us, can you give us a question?
Go ahead.
No, Mr. President-elect.
Go ahead.
Mr. President-elect,
Go ahead.
Since you are attacking
No,
our news
not you.
organization,
Not you.
Can you give us a chance?
Your organization
You are
is
attacking
terrible.
our news organization.
Your organization
Can you give us a
is
chance
terrible.
to
Let's
ask
go.
a question, sir?
Go ahead.
Sir, can
Quiet.
you state?
Quiet.
Mr. President-elect.
Go ahead.
Can you state
She's
categorically?
asking a question. Don't be rude.
Mr. President-elect, can you give us a question?
Don't be
You're
rude.
attacking us. Can you give us a question?
Don't be rude.
Can you
No, I'm
give
not
us a
going to give you a
question?
question. I'm not going to give you a question.
Can you state categorically?
You are fake news.
Sir, since you're attacking us, can you give us a question? Mr. President-elect.
Go ahead.
Mr. President-elect,
Go ahead.
since you are attacking
No,
our news
not you.
organization,
Not
can
you.
you give us a chance?
Your organization
You are
is
attacking
terrible.
our news organization.
Your organization
Can you
is
give us a
terrible.
chance
Let's
to ask
go.
a question, sir?
Go ahead.
Sir, can you
Quiet.
state,
Quiet.
Mr. President-elect,
Go ahead.
can you state
She's asking a
categorically,
question.
Mr.
Don't be
President-elect, can you give us a question?
be
You're
rude.
attacking us. Can you give us a question?
Don't be rude.
Can you
No,
give
I'm
us a
not gonna give you
question?
I'm not going to give you a question.
Can you state categorically?
You are fake news.
Sir.
No, not you. Not you. Your organization's terrible. Your organization's terrible. Let's go. Go ahead. Quiet. Quiet. Go ahead. She's asking a question. Don't be rude. Don't be rude.
Don't be rude. No, I'm not going to give you a question. I'm not going to give you a question. You are fake news.
Since you're attacking us, can you give us a question? No, Mr. President-elect.
Go ahead.
Mr. President-elect, since you are attacking our news organization, can you give us a chance?
Your organization
You are
is
attacking
terrible.
our news organization.
Your organization
Can you give
is
us a
terrible.
chance
Let's
to
go.
ask a question, sir?
Go ahead.
Sir, can
Quiet.
you state,
Quiet.
Mr. President-elect,
Go ahead.
can you state
She's asking
categorically,
a question.
Mr.
Don't be rude.
President-elect, can you give us a question?
Don't be
You're
rude.
attacking us. Can you give us a question?
Don't be rude.
Can you
No,
give
I'm
us
not
a
going to give you a
question?
question. I'm not going to give you a question.
Can you state categorically?
You are fake news.
Sir.
Can we ask you some more questions? It doesn't bother me at all, but I like real news, not fake news. You're fake news. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. It doesn't bother me at all, but I like real news, not fake news. You're fake news. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Thank you,
President, haven't you spread a lot of fake news yourself, sir?
A little while. Fake news. CNN, fake. Whoops, the camera just went off. Okay, you can come back. I won't say. I promise I won't say anything more about you. I see that red light go off. I say, whoa.
He gets a wacko like this Glenn Beck, who's always, every time I see him, he's crying. He's, like so emotional. What a mess. And he gets a whack job like Glenn Beck to support him, and which is, I think, a negative, not a positive.
George Will is another one. He was at Mar-a-Lago years ago. He spoke. I didn't want to listen to him speak, and he's never forgiven me for the fact that I didn't show up because I find him to be a very boring guy. So what do I want to listen to George Will for?